Hello everyone, this is Quarter. Welcome to my first ever style challenge as well as my first process video on YouTube. If you want, I know that it kind of jumps around in a few places. If you want me to slow down some of it and upload certain parts of it, please just feel free to comment, let me know. I know it can get kind of jumpy since I sped it up so much for time's sake. But anyway, this is to talk about part of the process of, well, drawing. So I started with 10 styles, and I tried to get some variety with the styles I liked or wanted to try. So like most people, I started with my own style, which, ironically enough, I can't even draw consistently most of the time myself. Part of why I did full bodies instead of just the bust is because, especially with the American styles, they can get so goofy and fun to draw. Like, if you've ever drawn an American style in just the fun, wibbly-wobbly kind of way, it's a lot of fun to do. I also tried to avoid static poses because looking at the same pose and drawing the same pose 10 different times is both boring to look at and boring to draw. The real challenge is capturing the life of some of the styles. That's not to say that I did the best with some of these styles. So like my favorite pose is the Gravity Falls pose, just because it's so energetic and it kind of encaptures both the character and the style of the show. But my least favorite one is the Avatar one. I really kind of struggled with that because the Avatar style is really similar to mine, just like less detailed. And I don't really feel like the drawing I did kind of did it justice. The other reason I chose full body is because American styles are really similar in the face. Yeah, you can say the same thing about a bunch of anime styles, but the thing about the anime styles, on the other hand, is that their bodies are all kind of very similar. Most of their stylistic things are in their face and their hair when they do have a distinctive style. It's a challenge either way, but I wanted to make sure that I encompassed what made the style its style, such as like Digimon characters have big hands and feet, Yu-Gi-Oh characters have ridiculous hair and eyes, American characters like Star vs. the Forces of Evil are pretty round. So like that's the thing, if you pay attention to the little things, you kind of start to realize why a style becomes its own and how to distinguish different styles. I might have just become accustomed to that as an animator, but it pays off more and it makes it more fun in the end. I also saved the shading for the end because I didn't actually realize it would take as long as I did to do 10 full body poses, and I'm not a slow drawer, so I ended up recording that. I didn't think I was going to record that, so it's in there at the very end, and you can kind of see how I did some texture stuff with the Wind Waker style just to kind of make it fit the style more. The other thing I really wanted to do is avoid just copying another character model, because when you do that, then it's not kind of showing like what your skill is in terms of doing that style. You want to be able to make a character in that style without just copying a character that already exists. And I think that was part of the other like challenge to this style challenge, is make a style fit the style without copying it verbatim. So you don't want to just take another character model and just copy it over and then slap some new colors on it and some new hair and call it a day. It doesn't work that way. That if you look at shows, there's a style to the shows, and each character fits into that style without all looking exactly the same. And that's just something that I wanted to play with and kind of accomplish. So when I'm working and I'm drawing, the process usually starts out with a skeleton. Even for the basic characters, everything's built over a skeleton. Like, don't be afraid to just erase something and try again. But you don't want to get so caught up in erasing that you don't move forward. The transform tool is your friend, since it lets you make quick adjustments without having to draw everything all over again. Same thing with the warp tool. Super handy dandy. Typically I ink these in Manga Studio because it's so superior for good, clean, crisp inking, but for the benefit of the video making and not flipping around between characters, I just stuck to Photoshop, which is totally okay. Photoshop's great. It's also, I feel like Photoshop's better for painting. Even though Manga Studio has a lot of painting tools, I just haven't gotten used to them. It's really hard for me to figure that out. Either way, I saved the shading for the end, and instead of doing any blending, I just stuck to cell shading because it was quick, it was easy, and it fit for pretty much everything. I didn't shade the American cartoons because those aren't shaded when they're animated. Typically, Avatar's shaded. If you're wondering what I'm working on, is an XP Pen Artist 22, which is an awesome alternative to a Cintiq. And that's after having used a Cintiq in school for 4 years. The pen pressure is really good, the viewing was really good, and that's what I looked for. Like, I highly recommend it if you've got some money to spare or you're looking for a tablet, and I'll put the link for that in the description. For recording my screen, I'm using Open Broadcaster, which has a whole lot of different kinds of options. I ended up just opting for the monitor capture, and I'm using DaVinci Resolve for video editing, which has quite a bit of a learning curve. It's a really weird program because not everything's intuitive, but it seems like it's very capable of a lot of things, and once I get better at using it, I can hopefully do some more editing stuff for you guys. My ultimate goal is to kind of start a Twitch stream where I kind of just work on whatever I feel like. It might be another style challenge, of which I have 2 more lined up. One of them is going to be another animation one, and another one is going to be comics, as far as like comic strips and comics, because I love comics. The other thing I might work on my Twitch stream is comics, because I do that in my spare time when I'm not working, and I do like them quite a lot. So if you've got questions about comics or you want tutorials on comics, please let me know. I have no problem doing that. I'll put links to the full view picture and other social media in the description, and that's where you can find updates on progress, like on Facebook and Instagram. That's where I post a lot of like work in progress pictures, so you can kind of see what I'm up to that week. I'll also post whenever I'm going to start a Twitch stream or whenever I'm about to upload a new YouTube video right over there for you guys. So feel free to go like, subscribe, just check out everything, because social media is the way these days, guys. Also on my channel, I've got a bunch of animations that I worked on when in school, so feel free to check those out. And if you want, I can always do some work in progress animations on Twitch stream or on YouTube. I guess other than that, I'm going to let you guys get to it, and please enjoy my style challenge.
invincible. Here in the wake of dawn, I see you shine. When I feel that heartbeat, I fly so much higher, fly so much higher, fly so much higher, fly so much higher. Skylines and clouds are below us now. Dive back down. Oh, take my hand, don't let go. Her looks, I assume they come with a price. She's smiling, but that may just be a disguise. I wanna say hi, but I'm scared she'll kill me. Could we? Will we? Would she? Probably not. But I don't care, 'cause I know it's so rare for a guy like me to get a chance with a girl like her. And I won't waste that chance. 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 She got me low.
Don't try this yourself. It's extremely dangerous.